our paranormal hour. And McKenna is not with us tonight. So we're going to do more of the tarot card readings and more of the psychic medium readings. So y'all get your questions fired up. Um, it's always hard to tell how many people are actually watching because our count is only for a portion of where we live stream. So it's always interesting to figure out where the questions are coming from. But yeah, so we thought Celeste and I, Susie wasn't at this investigation, but a couple of weeks ago we did the Delita skating rink in Pocatello, and we did live stream for hours on that investigation. But we thought we'd talk a little bit about it because, in particular, there was a young lady who came through who happened to be friends with the young ladies who work at Delita. Yes, and Celeste knew them very newer. And so, and it was really interesting because I kept getting a child. I'm like, I'm so confused because I've kept in my head, I've got a child coming through on this investigation, but I was really confused. I knew that there was a leg injury. She was blonde, really, really blonde. I couldn't tell if it was male or female, but I'm like, what? I was so confused by all these messages I was getting and these images in my head. And turned out, Celeste, you want to talk about who this young lady was? You don't have to give her name, but it was very, very sweet.
Yeah, it was very cool because the two girls that were there who work for Delita said they knew the second you started describing that it was their friend, and she was not a little child, but she was little. And she was from here in Pocatello. She was going to Highland High School, and there was an accident, and a very tragic and unexpected passing. And I actually knew her and her family. On my other kind of business, I do weddings and things to go with weddings. So I had done a wedding cake for her mother. And like I said, I live up by Highland, and my kids went there, and it was very traumatic for a lot of the students there. She was part of the broadcasting group at Highland. And my son was also, he's older than she is, but he was part of that. And they would do news stories, and they would do in the morning the introduction and how the weather's going to be and different things like that. So she had a lot of friends. And it was the second they started to kind of mention, it was like she came to my mind. And it was funny because I had just been thinking about her mom like a day or so before that. And that often happens to me, is I get a premonition or I get a visit before the actual encounter or whatever, or the person they're wanting to connect with is, oh, here's my kitty. They're wanting to, seriously, they're wanting to kind of give me a heads up. And so it kind of caught me off guard when they were like, oh my gosh, I think it's her friend. And I knew exactly the minute they said that who their friend was. But I couldn't for the life of me think what her mom's name was. And uh, she was communicating with me and was like, pull up my obituary. And I did. I pulled up her obituary, and I'm like, ah, yes, that's her mom's name. But then I was able to message her mom and let her know. It was pretty emotional for her mom. And she signed off for a while, but she came back the next day and had messaged me again and was thanking me. I've connected with the daughter and the mother before. And so it was nice. It had been a while, and she had some more information to share with her mom, and her mom confirmed that, yeah, what she had told me was
Yeah.
true. So it was really cool because Colleen's like, she's just that, like, there's this little child or a little girl, and she was maybe 2.5 feet tall, 3 feet tall. And so, yeah, would definitely, if you're seeing the image, that would be, you wouldn't think it was someone who was 16.
No, and I was so confused. And then I also got a leg, like I'm like I kept feeling like pain in my right leg and my femur, and the young ladies at the Lita said that she had gotten her leg injured. I don't know if it was a car wreck or what, but it was her femur, and
It it was
yeah,
not a car wreck, but that's what led to her passing, was
okay,
complications
okay,
with that they
okay.
didn't expect.
Yeah, so yeah, pay attention to those images and those pictures and those messages when you guys are doing an investigation because they come through and it's front and center. But I couldn't connect the dots because I didn't understand that she was a little person. Yeah,
Mhm.
she was absolutely beautiful. So yeah. But anyway, there was a lot of activity at Delita. There was an Army Air Corps um, uh, airman who was in the attic who was hanging out up there. There was just all kinds of stuff. And then I was trying to think the other day, Celeste, who was the trumpet guy from uh
Oh, yeah, hold on, let me
he
think.
blew out his
He was a
cheeks? What
famous yeah, he was a famous jazz musician.
jazz
I want to
musicians
say he
and
either
oh my
yeah,
gosh, you know what I'm talking about.
because
Al
we
like Al anyway, when he played the trumpet, his cheeks would get huge. And he apparently stayed at Delita in the room upstairs
mhm,
that we were hanging out in.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
um
sharing that my parents used to go dancing there when they would bring in the big band, and they brought in other concerts too. And we could see on the floor where they'd redone the floor when they took the stage out. But Louis Armstrong,
Louis
was that the
Armstrong,
name?
thank you. That's who it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't
But
believe how much activities up there.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very super busy. It was like the devices didn't stop going off.
No,
It
and
was
the images we were seeing and the people we were connecting with wouldn't stop. So it was kind of an interesting place. I would never have thought Delita had so much activity. So if you guys have not been to Delita here off Yellowstone, the skating rink, they also have escape rooms upstairs. A lot of
mhm.
activity in those rooms upstairs. A lot of activity in everywhere. Everywhere we went had something going on in it. So it's pretty interesting. There is quite a history in that building. um, so, guys, we're not going to talk a full half hour here. So go ahead and start putting your questions if you want a tarot reading or psychic reading in chat. We'll switch back and forth between Susie and Celeste. Go ahead and ask your questions. And while we're yeah, Mud Lover, it was a great investigation. It was really solid. I was really happy with it. It's one of those buildings that would be interesting to set up some experiments in it because it's close and it's right in our backyard and there was so much activity. It would be interesting to do something like that there. Um, and the young people who were with us on the investigation who work in that building were really enthusiastic about it. They really enjoyed the investigation. So yeah.
It's
Anybody?
it's unbelievable how much history. The original building was built in Montpelier, and I believe it was sometime, I think around in the 20s or something when they moved it to Pocatello. And it was a concert hall and a dance hall and a skating rink, and it's been around forever. I mean, I grew up roller skating there, and it was by no means new when I would go roller skating. And it's been kind of a focal point, I guess, of our community of things to do and family activities and all of that. So it's not surprising that there was so much activity, but it was so diverse. The activity was very diverse, the people that were
Yeah,
trying to come through.
I love buildings like this. Guys, go ahead and post your questions. I'm going to put up Susie and Celeste's contact information so after the show you can get a hold of them and schedule a reading, a full reading. These are just snippets. They can do full readings. They can do them anywhere for anybody in the world. Doesn't matter where you are. They can do it over the phone, FaceTime. I keep getting an error when I'm posting to our paranormal page, and I don't know why, but that's okay. Um, yeah, so post your questions, guys, and Uh, let us know what you want today. We're here. We're here for you for the full hour. So,
Miss
just
Susie,
when I was,
you
huh?
messaged. Oh,
What's
I
that,
was
ma'am?
just gonna say Susie had messaged me about something that she got. Was that a public thing? Because you could maybe share that too.
Well, yeah, it was part of it was public. That because I was getting a lot of phone calls, messages, emails about people being very angry, very emotional, very volatile, and I was advising them that this is the April's the energetic new year, and this is them. Those emotions are coming up because they're kind of fighting the whole process of something new beginning. Subconsciously, they were just kind of fighting it and not wanting the change, not wanting to push forward. And so I was advising them, relax, let it flow, go out and ground yourself, because this is a new energy that we've stepped in. It was literally a shift. And I didn't realize that that day when I told you to be very careful going into Pocatello and to avoid, I didn't know that was the day that the funeral actually took place. I didn't know that, but I could feel it like a ton of bricks. And I was just like, we got to all calm down because things can go one way or the other. And then, as a side note, I lost one of my old students last week. He died in a car accident. And sorry, that hit me pretty hard. And when I read about it, and then when I was talking to my family about it, my birds that I've told you guys about before, my little electronic birds, they all started going off again. And just as you were talking, he came through again to me
Oh,
and was
wow.
just telling me that he wasn't ready, pretty upset, didn't want to leave his parents and his little brother. And I was just like, ooh, I
So,
don't blame you.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. It's always so sad when that stuff, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we do have a question. My lover asked,
Good.
when you're doing this live, do you ever pick up on something before people ask a question?
Yeah, I do. Anyway, especially if somebody is trying to connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
Often a day before, the night before, an hour before, I get like a vibe, a feeling, a thought, something like that. But not every single time, just some of the time. How about you, Susie?
Oh yeah, all the time. And I have dreams before it happens, and I get people coming and talking to me. And yeah, and then sometimes when I've gotten, while people are talking, we're waiting for like McKenna, and she's giving us some really cool facts. Sometimes I'll just kind of pull on the audience and see who's in there and what's going on with them. And that's why that one time I was like, yeah, somebody's got a pregnancy coming. I was like, it's there. I'm not naming names, but it's coming. So I can get just random things like that on it too. So
Okay. Pat asked a couple of days ago, I saw an animal out of the corner of my eye, but it was too fast to catch a good look before it was gone. Any idea of who it was?
Okay, so I have a question, and if you can type more, that would help. Are you talking you literally saw an animal, or are you talking you saw movement of something that looked like it was an animal? Because then you ask who it was.
Right.
The, I
that's
don't
two different
know.
things.
Yeah. So if you could clarify that, I would say I have a gal that I know that suddenly is being bombarded about owls. She's having
Hmm.
dreams about owls. She was driving to American Falls. Okay. She was driving to American Falls and there were massive quantities of animals in a
Yes.
few-mile radius that had been hit by cars or whatever on the sides of
Yeah.
the interstate. And I grew up in American Falls. I drive that interstate a lot and I've seen some, but she saw an owl and she saw a hawk and she saw what she thought was a coyote and maybe a skunk and a raccoon and a deer and
Yeah.
all these kinds of things. And then she just had the sound. She could hear the sound at her home of the
Hmm.
owls hooting. So there's a lot of interesting activity a variety of activity. But yeah, I was going to say what came to my mind reading your question was it was small. I was seeing like a small, fast animal. Um, Cat wasn't necessarily what came to my mind, but it was, I almost want to say like a fox, but it was a darker color than what, but it was a small animal, and it, I don't know if you saw it in your home or outside. I saw trees, so I felt like whatever I saw would be something more in nature. Are you seeing something, Susie?
Yeah, I was kind of chuckling because as we were talking about cats, I just got one on the outside of my house, just looking in, a dark colored cat. And what I was picking up when she said movement and then cat, I just immediately got protector. That's a spiritual protector for her. Also a guide. And so it's not one that she's like had in this lifetime. It's on the other, it's in the 5D. It's protecting and it's guiding on that side. She just caught a glimpse of it. And then also,
Go ahead.
owls. I don't know about precursor of aliens,
Yeah, I've
but
never heard of that either. I was going to address that. That no,
yeah.
usually in some cultures, it's the precursor of death, an owl. But since I have owls flying all around my property at night, I'm kind of letting that one go.
I think to me, they represent a lot of.
Well, I'm going to rain on your parade.
You're going to what?
Because
What? Celeste? Ah, she's frozen.
Oh, shoot. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
And tell her that not necessarily are precursors to aliens, but they have similar eyes to what aliens have. And so it has been a legend, I guess is a good word for it, that the owls can be symbolic to an alien visit or an alien encounter. Some cultures believe they are the notifier that a death is coming. I get owls a lot. I've had lots of people crossing. I wouldn't necessarily say every time it is warning you of a passing, but I would definitely say it is a warning. Usually, owls are considered the wise ones, and they do communicate. So do crows communicate between the realms, and they often are telling you, "Pay attention. Something's coming."
Yeah, and I was going to tell you about all of the. No, it's okay. All of the carcasses, because I noticed you posted that, and me and my family had commented on that we have not seen so many dead birds before alongside the highway going out, and it's a lot of hawks too, not just owls, a lot of hawks. Hawks are messengers. And to me, there's a lot of, like I said, there's been a big energetic shift, and I've kind of wondered if that hasn't been a little bit of a part of that. You know what I mean? So,
while we're waiting,
go ahead.
Question to come in. I am going to share a picture of the new donkey.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that you guys can see him. This is Patty.
Oh, so cute.
I know he's pretty adorable. And we had a troll, by the way, that I banned just so that you know that this person has actually any tarot show, apparently. Anybody who's doing psychic readings or tarot shows, this person shows up on. And so this person is now banned. So yeah, I don't know if they can even hear us or see us, but yeah, we're not doing that here. So yeah. Okay. So any other questions coming in? Let's see. So as far as investigations go for the team, we have a few things that we're working on, haven't booked them yet, but it's busy. We get really, really busy in the summer with Celeste, with your other business, and Susie with all of the grandkids and things like that. And it's Paddy, Max. It's Paddy. Very, very Irish. Very Irish. So Yeah, so uh, I don't know how many investigations we'll do this summer. I do know that I've got a lot of things that I want to do, little go out and do things on the weekends and do some filming. Um, I just ran across a story that I'm going to do a podcast on, um, that I put in our paranormal chat, ladies. So we all talked about it, but we need to go up to that particular cave and check that out. I think that
I was
would be
waiting for
very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll do a
that. Mhm.
podcast on that one. Really? I just banned this person.
Yeah, I just got to create a new one and then he can just do it again.
Interesting. I got
Mhm.
to figure out how to get this person out of our, yeah. Um, So we have a lot of things that we're working on besides doing this, the live. Tomorrow night on our live show, we have a really good friend of ours. He's a friend of all of ours. Kenny with Midnight Lycanthropy is going to be on our Thursday show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And he's a researcher and he is all about the dog man, but he researches like anything cryptid, he's fascinating with he's just the brain on this guy. So so it's going to be a fun show because we're going to talk about all all things cryptid tomorrow night. I think that'll be really fun. So be sure to join us tomorrow at 7. Anybody out there, any of our group here have a question tonight? Come on now, don't be shy. Step up to
Well,
the plate.
I randomly was pulling on somebody out there. I don't know, no name, but this young lady has long, dark hair, kind of wavy, very sad. She has lost a father, but she can connect with him through music and she can feel there's a truth in the music that she's been listening to. And she can connect with him through the music. And that's what it's saying is to listen to the music that they would listen to together. And she'll find the answers that she's looking for. And
Interesting.
that'll help bring her out some balance and a new start. That's just for one person in the audience that I can feel.
Um, that's interesting because a lot of times people won't show up in the chat. They just linger in the
Yep.
background.
Yeah, this
And
this
so
young lady's in her 20s, very light skin, white skin and darker hair, like almost
wow,
black.
this troll just won't leave.
Hmm.
Huh, interesting. Um, yeah, so that's really interesting. Celeste, do you pick up on anybody who might be just in the audience?
Well, what I wanted to share was I had my other kids come, and this last weekend we were cleaning out their mother's storage unit. She passed away. This July will be 3 years. And on their way home last night, they were about 2 hours out from where they live in Oregon. And the truck in front of them had a box of Christmas ornaments fly off the back. They were going about 70, 71 miles an hour. They hit their brakes. The car behind them slammed into the back of them. They were right by the Columbia River. I think the nearest town's called Hood River. It totaled their car. It totaled the lady's car. Today they found out that the lady had multiple substances in her system. She recently had a surgery, probably had some pain meds, among other things, in her system. That was probably the delay in her ability to react. But they feel, and I feel, ooh, I'm getting chills, that probably their mom and their grandparents were their guardian angels to keep, they shouldn't have lived. In that wreck, none of them probably to go be going 70 miles an hour into slam. Mom had some substance addictions. And so the older son put out, you know, it is never too late to look for help. And I'm sending this out to everybody out there too. It's never too late to look for help. If you have an issue with substances taking over your life or becoming detrimental to yourself and others, this woman, she could have caused a massive accident. And so it was really cool when we pay attention to the little signs our loved ones do come through to us. And so it's important to pay attention to that because they could be sending warnings or they could just be saying hello, especially when you're missing them and feeling lost,
Right.
like the person Susie was talking about.
Right. So we have three questions that have popped up, and I mistake. So Kenna came up with any questions from a female presence for me. I don't know who wants that one.
I'll let Celeste take that one.
Did you have one that you saw, Susie, first?
There was Jason, then Mad
Yeah.
Max, and then Kenna.
Yeah, Jason was first. Yeah. Will my house go smooth the rest of the way? I had some unexpected turbulence today.
What I'm feeling with that is it's kind of a turbulent year. And so the more that we can just stay on top of things and pay attention to the details, the less overall mess, confusion, chaos, whatever that those things can cause. I don't feel like anything major could be coming up, but that could also be if you're paying attention, you're going to catch the little thing before it becomes the big thing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just got that too. So I've got the conflict that showed up in the cards as well, Jason. And it does show that it's minor, so it's a weak energy, and just to keep your focus on the reason why you are purchasing this home. And the reason why is the love that you are trying to center, there, and you'll have victory because the victory's on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about death dreams, i.e., seeing you? So, death showing up in your dreams? I've had him show up in my dreams and for reals. I can tell you a little bit about that.
Is that
So,
just the end of something? I mean, it's
yes, it can be change. So it
Mhm.
can be transitional. So, of course, life and death is transitional, but it can also mean you need to change something about the path that you're on if you're seeing death or dreaming about death. And then sometimes, like with me, with my experiences of like passing away, that I know that is the entity or whatever you want to call them, that energy that comes to um, move us on to the next stage. But like I said, once again, that is transitional. So it's something you need to step back and look at. Okay, what in my life needs to change? What about this path that I'm currently on? Am I being warned about or being told that I need to change? So sit down, ponder that, meditate on it, and the answer will come to you. You can even pose it to yourself before you go to sleep, and it can show up the answers in a dream again.
Here's my little sarcastic remark. With changes coming, if there are changes that are meant to happen, we can run and hide and pretend like we don't notice. I do this a lot. And then the universe fixes it for us. But sometimes when we get dreams like that, it's kind of a heads up, pay attention. I don't know if you mean specifically that you're seeing like the Reaper or death in the dream, or you're seeing somebody passing. Um, but that is one of my gifts, I guess, if you want to call it a gift, of seeing upcoming crossings, and I can see around people. Usually mine is more close up. Like I'll have people go, how long am I going to live? And I can see you're going to live a long time. I can't say, oh, you're going to live another 24 years. But the death part, usually when I see that in a dream or in the person, it's usually within 3 days to 7 days kind of a thing. So, but yeah, the things that are going to end or change, if we don't take that hint or prepare, put our seatbelt on, the universe has a way of changing it, whether we like it or not. So I am not feeling anything, Kenna. I am kind of trying to call in. Are you getting anything, Susie?
Let me check really quick. Hmm. Well, I checked earlier and then I passed it off to you because I had a defensive energy. So she's feeling defensive towards this female presence that's around her. They were kind of a in charge type of a boss type thing. And I think she's still feeling um, kind of stuck up in her head about the whole situation with that female. But that female, that presence that is around you does want to like repair things, kind of want to, fix whatever damage was done beforehand, if that makes sense, before they passed.
Is this someone who is more contemporary to you, meaning in around the same age? Because I am feeling like a female presence that would be similar in age. And
Mhm.
I'm feeling
Still
they're
kind
very
of bossy.
standoffish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling like they're kind of standoffish. And I don't know if there was conflict prior. That's one of the most unfortunate things, and it happens to a lot of people. You've had a fight and then
Mhm.
something happens to them, or you didn't tell them I love you. There's so many things that can happen when we lose people. The important thing that people will need to know and remember is they can still hear us. So if this is
Mhm.
somebody and you're wanting to connect with them, maybe say something that didn't get said, or who knows, apologize, make a point, whatever, they can hear us.
Mhm.
And it is important to remember that, because there's so many people that say I didn't get closure, and there's not really good closure when
Yeah,
somebody we know crosses. It's
it's looking like an apology on both sides. Yeah, I've got the Six of Pentacles here, so some equal give and take. Some both need to do it.
So Lizette, would like a card pulled for this week and into next week. And Kenna just said, I had a good friend pass away about 10 years ago, and we had a falling out beforehand. She was a year older than me at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ladies were spot on it.
Sorry about that. It's always tough.
And a nice little message
Yeah.
from Mad Max. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, Kenna. It's just, it's so tough when we do that. We have a falling out, or we don't express everything that we want to say, and then that person's gone, but they're not really gone. They're not gone. But it's hard because they're not part of our daily, like, you know, daily existence. So it can be hard. Yeah. Anybody
All
else?
right.
Say
Knock
again?
it off. I said, all right, Lizette, knock it off. Quit
Uh-oh.
concentrating on the things that are not working and get out of your head. Quit thinking about the stuff that you don't have. Get out of your head. You need to go out and relax and do something that you're really passionate about. I get the feeling that you're very creative. You need to do something with your hands. Don't fear the future, because everything is designed for you to learn. Like I said, the universe has perfect timing. Like I said, it puts perfect timing, perfect people, like situations, everything in place for you to learn. There is nothing bad about what comes towards you. You just have to go through those lessons. So stop being in your head about it. You're going to be just great. So go do something creative. Feed your soul.
Cool.
Sorry for the lecture, but I'm like an old mom. So I'm like, meh.
That's awesome. Yeah. So anybody else have any questions out
the
there?
only thing that would come up for me, and this is a story that I've really shared and I shared a lot. And the one that we want to grow is the one we need to feed. So we can't sit and worry and be stressed or upset about what might go wrong, or what isn't going to work out, or what isn't meant for me. We need to put our energy into what we want. And maybe that, with the creativity, could help you to can help you to focus more on the positive, what you want, not what you're afraid of, not what you fear.
Also, on that note, The biggest thing that you can do to help yourself along and to advance in this world, in this universe, is to send out gratitude. Be grateful for every little thing that you have. Be grateful for that breath you take in the morning, the family that's around you. Even if you're grateful like me for my nice soft bed and my pillows, I am so grateful for those every night. I'm a Taurus. And so, yeah, just send out gratitude, and then that's what will come back to you, is all of those good things, as long as you keep your focus on that. Because like I was telling other people, whatever you focus on is what you hit. So riding a dirt bike, I used to focus on trees because they hurt. Well, I found out boulders hurt worse. So I started focusing on those and hitting those. So stop. Gratitude.
So I'm not a journaler. I don't journal because I don't have time to write. Okay. But what I do is I do snapshots of time, and I do them every year. Like here's 20th of January 2023, the first Kildare arrived. 21st March 23, the first robin arrived. I do that kind of stuff, right? So today I this year I do it every year, and this little book's going to stay with the house when I sell it, so that they can look back. It's got like paint colors and everything else that I've done, so they know, whoever, if they end up with this house. But if they want to repaint the barn, this is the red color, that kind of thing. But that's my reminder to take a breath and note the things that bring me joy. Today, the daffodils bloomed at my house. That kind of stuff makes me happy. So find a way, find a way. And oh, I'm
One
so
other
sorry,
thing.
Lizette. You lost a friend this morning. I'm very sorry.
I just pulled on Lizette's friend. She says to tell you that she loved you very, very much. I don't know why I'm getting female, but I'm getting the Empress, and she's saying that you are everything. You are the world. You are the creator. You're the mother, and you can create your reality. So that's literally the message she's telling me, that you do have everything that you need. So, but she just
Yeah,
definitely wanted me to tell you that she loved you.
yeah, very sorry. Ted, I see you in chat. If you have a message, if you would like some, psychic reading or tarot card reading, please drop a message. Yeah, so it's kind of tough when we have these things. It's really tough. I mean, no joke. When we lose someone, it's tough. And Susie, you're dealing with it, and Lizette's dealing with it, and McKenna's had this come back up, and it's just hard. And it's really tough. So
I don't ever
I
really
would
lose them, though, do we, Colleen?
huh?
Don't ever really lose them, though, do we, Colleen?
Oh
They
gosh,
just
no.
stepped into the other room. Just haven't come back yet.
Yeah, Ted, we see your messages, so we're here, and we're here for you if you would like a reading. Yeah, it's tough, but they do step into the other realm. Like my dad's here. His energy comes and goes now. He's not here as present as he was when he first passed away in 2020, but he's here, and he likes to play jokes, and he likes to um yeah, Ted, if you would like your reading done, please ask a question. But his energy kind of comes and it goes. My mom's was gone for just 20 years this on the 15th that I lost her, and she just came back like 6 months ago. I hadn't felt her, seen her, anything. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. And Celeste and Susie and I were talking about it one night, and I think and Jess was talking about it, and they all kind of so she was busy. She was helping other people, and now she's time to come back to you and relax with you for a while. So I think that's what's going on with the doll downstairs, because she made the doll. Well, that almost freaked me out because your cat shut up and I saw the doll. Oh, I'm sorry, I hate dolls. So let's
It's the haunted cat.
Well, at Delita, when we just did the paranormal investigation there at Delita, there was a room full of dolls, man, and you kept moving that doll closer to me. I was going to
See?
smack you, but we were live. Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
hoping something exciting would happen on the live. She's like, yeah, she was not comfortable with me sitting the dolls next to
So
her and
you said you need
touching.
to bring that one clown over and stick it with the doll downstairs and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another, just a side note, Susie and Jean, Celeste are pulling energy from people here. I do have the farm camera and it's working. I've spent a lot of time and energy on getting the farm camera ready to stream. So, Mad Max, Celeste has a cat that keeps popping in and out of her lap, I think. So all I said is its head
So
this time.
we
But
talked
we do
about her.
have the farm
She's like, are you
camera.
talking to me?
It's ready to go. And as soon as, oh, okay, Ted. So you're okay.
So
This is Ted's um message. And let's see, Ted, if Susie or Celeste have something to help you maybe with this.
mhm.
Okay.
I feel like you're empathic, which means you feel everybody else's emotions, illnesses, different things like that. And being in a group situation, it can increase your anxiety. It can increase just your overall feeling, thinking maybe there's something wrong with your health, feeling the chaotic energy. I don't know if there's people that have conflicts with each other or with you. I don't know how much access you have to um, you can even start just with salt. Um, a really good one is just to take, like, if you're having dinner and there's a shaker of salt before you leave, just sprinkle a little bit in your hands, go in the bathroom, kind of rub your hands with the salt, and just think, I'm releasing everybody's energy that's bothering me. Um, but that's kind of what I'm feeling is that maybe you're it's amplified because you actually are feeling, not just interacting with the people in the home. And I feel like the home has energy in it too. I feel like
A
there's
lot of
a
conflict.
history of either illness or pain, or maybe people have even passed from there. And when we're empathic, it's like our senses are amplified. We see more, we hear more. Um,
Mhm.
Could you be more specific about what do you mean by they repeat? Like similar situations happening again and again? Is that what you mean? Um, just simple things like
Oh,
why.
I think it's his when he's posting it keeps repeating.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, sorry, Ted. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird. Sometimes we get these glitches on the live stream in it. But yeah, my lovers, messages are repeating. So Susie, did you pull any cards for him as well?
Yeah, I had a lot of what Celeste was showing was some conflict and stuff. There's a lot of energy. Like there's somebody there that he feels really comfortable with, and but he's not sure he can trust them because there's other ones that are like they're starting fights, they're arguing, there's just little petty bickering and stuff, and so he's feeling the push and the pull of everything, and he does want a companion, a friend, that is in the energy, but he's just got to be really discerning, and he definitely needs to protect his energy. So wash with the salt like Celeste said, and the shower too. When you shower, image that all that negative energy washing off you and down the drain. So, and then also pretend, like I said, that you have a ball of light in your chest and grow it out until it encompasses all of your body. And you can imagine that underneath your feet, over your head. Pretend your hands hit the walls of it 3 times and make it solid. And then that will help to protect you from the energy that's in there. Because I think they're draining you, um, but you've got to block them. Once you can learn to block them and to clear it off like daily, you should be okay. It's
With
gonna be
your
a
Yeah,
last
maybe.
about the evil spirits, do you have any kind of a religious background or believe in angels? Because if there is some sort of a negative or evil energy that's interacting with you or around you and affecting you, Saint Michael the Archangel is an exceptionally great person or angel to have on your side, and you just call Saint Michael the Archangel, protect me from evil, keep me safe, keep them away from me. Another one that is helpful is Metatron. And that's their jobs. They fight off evil, they keep people safe, they keep people protected. And especially if you're kind of, I feel like maybe you isolate yourself a little bit. And in doing that, then they will help you to feel more safe and comfortable in your environment. But yeah, the salt is amazing. Rubbing it on your hands, just sprinkling it around your room. I mean, you don't need to go crazy and put like a giant pile of salt by any means. But if you're ever feeling like something will not leave you alone, and there's like not a human there, you're just feeling the energy, which happens when you're an empath. Call on Saint Michael. Saint Michael, protect me, keep me safe, banish this evil, and Saint Michael will do that. And then be grateful for it. Thank you for staying with me and protecting me. But it's difficult
Yeah.
living in group situations anyway. So you may
Yeah.
have people that have or your own self have depression issues or anxiety issues, and the negative energy feeds on that. And so you want to try to be happy if you can and laugh a little bit, but do not hesitate to call on Saint Michael the Archangel and on Metatron.
And we
Yeah.
can do
Ted.
that for you, Ted. We can do that for you.
Yeah, we can do that for you, and we'll send some light energy around you and help with that. It's tough, and I can't equate to living in a group home, but there's a few here that's in our feed that I know of. They're veterans too, and boot camp was like that for me. I was surrounded by 115 females that you'd never met before, and their energy. Oh, I mean, plus the stress of boot camp
Mhm.
and their anxiety and everything that was going on. So I can't imagine what you go through on a daily basis, because I knew in the into 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, it's over. And that was over. So you have to, yes, he says he's Catholic. So yeah, so I would definitely call on your faith to help you with that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, and seriously, if you feel like something is like there, the power of Christ compels you. Leave my space. I am protected by Jesus. I am protected by Mary. I am protected by God. Whatever you feel, they are not going to turn their backs on you, and they are going to help you to feel more comfortable. But absolutely, Saint Michael the Archangel.
You know, and you don't even have to say it out loud where you're worried about these other people hearing you. You could say it in your room before you come out and interact, but you just say it in your mind, repeat it in your mind. And a lot of times, like even if I don't know who to call on, I'll just say place warring angels around my home, my family to protect us. And you'll literally feel them, especially since you're an empath. You're going to feel them when they step in the room with you.
It's pretty remarkable because I'm not a religious person and I don't have any kind of religious background, right? But I have called. I've called and they've been there. So I know they're there. And I don't know why I'm so pig-headed about stuff. It's just who I am. It's a Virgo trait. But,
Do you see our faces like Colleen, big headed?
but anyway, it's like I don't have that part of me, but when if you call for protection, your guardians show up, your angels
Yep.
show up, whoever it is will show up for you. So it's definitely true. So yep.
And you
Um,
can even take tap water, drinking water. You don't need a ton of it. And you just, I ask for the blessing of God or the protection of Saint Michael the Archangel to be on this water to keep me safe and to help me to bless my space. And you can dip your finger in it and draw a cross above your bed. You can put it around your window. Yes, Virgos are very perfect. I have a lot of Virgo in with my Leo, so I'm even better than I'm perfect on fire. But just blessing your bed, blessing yourself, and depending on where you're at, you could ask to have them contact a local priest to come
Mhm.
in, or one of the deacons, or one of the people. They could do communion for you. They could come in and do a blessing for you. You just need to let them know, or let people know where you're living, that you would like to have that.
Mhm. Would be a good idea.
Yeah.
But definitely
And
put up those
and
borders
have
around your room.
Oh, Mad Max, Leos are awesome. And perhaps maybe ask the group home if they could get you to church,
Mhm.
if that's something that brings you comfort. So,
That would help.
yeah. So, yeah, does anybody else out there have any questions? We got a little less than 10 minutes to go here, and we can certainly answer a couple more questions. In the meantime, let's see. Want to fill the void here. I know there's questions out there, so don't be shy.
I can
Uh,
always feel people like reluctant. They're sitting at the keyboard like, should I put it out there? Should I put it out there? And I'm like, just do it.
yeah.
It's gonna be
Well, a lot of
okay. But
times you want to type because then their name shows up if it's not a moniker. So don't be afraid to ask a question, or you can always sign into the stream as someone, make another account so that you're
Mhm.
somewhat incognito. If you want to do that, that's fine as well. And if you want to go ahead and send us a question before the live stream to my email, I'm going to put my email out there, and so that you guys have it, because I can certainly take the questions, we can answer them, and we can do it that way too.
And you can get
Okay.
a hold of Susie and I to do something
Mhm.
private. I
Mhm.
have I've had several people that say to me, I understand why you don't like to do a lot of readings in public, because and it's like, when it is a public setting, it's hard for us to know how it's going to go over if we say something. And so sometimes doing something private and personal is a more comfortable or safer way if you're concerned about what might be said or felt.
Okay, we have Kenna's question, and while you're working on that, yeah, you got Jason's comment there, Susie. He said, nope, Susie would still love me. She's that good. Yeah, that's true. You can't hide anything from these ladies. That's what's yeah. Yeah, so Kenna's question is, I have a couple of family members in a big life transitions. Any energies for them?
The best advice I can give about transitions is to put every ounce of your thoughts, your energy into what you want to end up happening after this
Mhm.
transition. Because so many times we're like, oh no, this is terrible. What if this happens? Or what if? And oh no, I would be so upset if this happened. That's the fire we're feeding. And we don't want that fire fed. We want, this is going to be in my absolute best interest. This is going to bring me some peace, or this is going to bring me some prosperity. With this change, with this transition, this is going to get more easy or more understandable. So that would be the thing that I would highly, highly recommend. Or if they don't know what they want, which a lot of us don't, which is why the world transitions us without us, being active, rolling it. May this all work out for my best good. May this all work out in the best interest of my family. May this all work out to bless and benefit us in the best way possible. That kind of mantra, and keeping it like a daily thing that you're affirming for yourself.
Mhm.
Susie,
Yeah,
you have cards?
yeah, I did. And it shows that they're in like major conflict within themselves and they're fighting it. They're fighting the transitions and the change, even though it's dead, done, and over. They already know the truth of it. They just need to cut out those things that are no longer working for them, because the universe has already told them it's not working, but they just need to like put a end stamp to it. Once they do that, it shows that they're going to have some type of either energetic reunion with like their life's true purpose. Well, that's coming out. Yes, they'll have a reunion, a turn back to what they were supposed to be doing. their soul's true purpose, and it'll bring more balance in their life, and it will help to cut out that lying, cheating, stealing, thieving, little deceptive energy that's been around them, causing them so much turmoil and transitional stuff. Like it needs cut out. It's like a cancer. And it's gonna, once they can release that and like energetically let it go and just go with the flow, it's going to show up. Their life's true purpose, their soul's purpose is coming quick. So that's for both of them. I can feel two people.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Wow, you guys, both of you ladies are always so spot on with everything. It's spooky. We have 4 minutes left. Are there any final questions? Please make sure you subscribe to in Emergency Encounters. If you subscribe and hit the notification bell, it will show you our scheduled lives. They'll come up in your feed. So make sure that you do that. If you're on Facebook, head over to YouTube to Emergency Encounters. It'll show you, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's interesting when I go and I look at our analytics every week, about 86% of the people that watch our stuff don't subscribe. And that's like across the board on YouTube. It's really wild that it's like, subscribe if you like a channel, subscribe to it so you can get the notifications when they post something. And we try to do 2 to 3. Well, we have 3 shows, sometimes 4 and 5 a week. We're always posting stuff. So I know.
So for someone,
seriously, you guys are so good. Yeah.
So for someone that has never subscribed to anything, what do you have to do? What does that mean? How does that benefit you and them? I guess,
well,
speaking as a person who's never subscribed.
If they go to YouTube and they're on our channel and they hit subscribe, it doesn't cost anything whatsoever. It's free. Hit subscribe. And then if you hit there's a little bell icon. If you hit that, it's anytime we post or go live, it shows up in their feed, and it is free. And then, because we don't do anything, we don't charge on YouTube. And so you will know when we go live. And so it helps us because the more subscriptions we get, the more they share our stuff. And so it helps. The more we can keep going. Yeah. And so, Mad Max is truly free. And just another little blurb on the farm cam. The farm cam, as soon as I figure out there's an intermediary software I have to use called OBS, and it's really complicated. And anyway, it's called Open Broadcast System, I think. And anyway, that software takes the camera feed and posts it to YouTube. And as soon as I learn this program, which I'm devouring YouTube videos and I'm trying to figure out how to use it because it's so complicated, then we will be streaming the farm cam Monday through Friday, pretty much from 8 to 4. And so all day long you can go on and see the goats and the donkeys and the horse and that kind of stuff, and the pigs because they're coming soon. But anyway, you'll be able to see the farm animals. So you'll be able. It's so much fun when the goats are bouncing each other off of the spools. So, and every hour that you're watching somebody's feed is an hour that counts for them. For every minute, everything, it counts in YouTube. It gives you a better algorithm and it puts you out in more feeds. So it really does help us in the long run.
I've got one overall message for the group that's here really fast, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I just asked the universe, what do you want to tell everybody that's here with us? And it says that there is going to be a lot of changes coming up. I've got the world here and the Empress. There is a lot of changes. Don't fear the changes, but everything that you guys do within your life, do it from the focus of love. The reason you buy that house is because you love your family and you want a roof over them. The reason that you take on a farm is because you care for animals and you want to express your love for them. Everything you do, make sure it comes from that center focus of love, and you're going to defeat any fear that comes along, any fear.
Sure.
So that's what it's telling you. The universe will have your back. So focus of love.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us tonight. We really always so much enjoy spending an hour with you every week. And next week, we will be back. May not be the entire group, but we'll be back. But we will We're keep going with these readings. It means a lot for us to have you guys with us for the hour, and I'm hoping that it provides you guys some guidance and some warm and fuzzies from these ladies, because they're very good at what they do. So thank you all very much, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.